Hi everyone, Kevin here. Today I want to at the very end of the recording, I would have to open OBS again and then click on stop recording. If I don't want to show OBS at all, well, I could use editing software to cut out the beginning and the end, or Hi everyone, Kevin here. Today I want to show you how you can both get and also use OBS. First off, what is OBS? It's an extremely powerful and also versatile screen recorder, and you could use it to stream to services like Twitch, YouTube, and also Facebook. In fact, I use it to record all of my videos on this channel. Best of all, it's entirely free and it's also open source. All right, let's jump on the computer, and first off, let's see how we can get OBS. Here I am on my PC, and first off, I want to show you how you can get OBS. Once again, it is Satchel camera. With the streaming option, if you select this, it's going to go through and have you select the certainly have one monitor, and my resolution is 2560 by 1480. The final results of the auto configuration wizard, and this shows us and all of our settings are in place. Next, we need to tell OBS what we want to record or what we want to stream. And to do that, we're going to use this real estate right here, this ad. Now, two of the ones that you'll probably most likely want to use, one of them is called display. Everything looks good, so I'm going to click on OK. Back on the main screen, you should see your scene start coming up, and then click on Browse. Navigate to where OBS is on your computer. Here's we now have our desktop appearing microphone in the audio mixer, and it is working. Here I can see that the sources. You can also drag here to adjust the levels. You can also mute or unmute the source, and you have some advanced audio properties here. To the right of the audio mixer, you also have scene transitions and later settings or exit the application. For now though, let's simply kick off a basic recording. I've now started my recording. Congratulations, we have finished our first recording. If you want to watch, great. The one thing you'll notice though is this is an MKV to show recordings in the file menu. You'll now see that we have an MP. Within output under the recording category, you can change the default recording format. And here, look, you could change it to MP4. Of course, there's a reason why OBS sets MKV and Remux, but that way you have a little bit extra beginning and the end, or alternatively, I can use OBS to set shortcut keys to both start. Next, I want to show you some of the more advanced uses of OBS. And now I want to show you how you can build a more complex scene. I want to use the scene that we just created as the base. Let's right click on this scene and then let's click on duplicate. I'm going to call this scene desktop capture with webcam. Once you're done typing in the scene name, click on OK. I now have a second scene and I have all the same sources. I want to add a webcam, so let's click on the plus icon, and a webcam is a video capture device. Let's select this option. Next, I could give it a name. I'll stick with the default name of video capture device and then click on OK. This opens up my webcam properties and all the defaults look good. Next, I'll click on OK. My webcam image is now on the screen, but it is massive compared for the desktop image that appears here. Just like before within the sources list, I'm going to click on display capture. Here I see a red rectangle appear around my display, and just like with the webcam image, I can reposition my desktop sides of me, and that takes away from being able to see my sources. So even here, now of course I want to record my whole screen, so I'll press the Alt key and then drag back out. I have this red rectangle around the item. This opens up properties for color source. I'm going behind my video capture device, so I'll simply and I don't have to worry about. Now let's say I'm done explaining the whole there now, and at this point I can now start streaming, I could start recording, I could start my virtual camera, so I could basically go live with this. Now let's say that maybe I have my webcam up here, but then I want to hide it because maybe I want people to focus on the full screen and not my face. Well, over here on the left hand side, I can click on the other scene, and this will shift the scene back to just my full desktop. Now let's say I'm done explaining the whole desktop, I can now click on my scene, and that'll show me again here in the bottom right hand corner. Now one of the problems is when I click on these different scenes, it's a little bit of a hard cut. What if I want to have more of a transition? Well, that brings us to this category here called scene transitions. Right now it's set to simply cut, but I have to click on file, click into settings, and then go to hotkeys. Within this list, set shortcut keys to switch my scenes. Now that we've looked at how you can seamlessly switch between scenes, I want to show you some additional functionality related to sources. Down here within sources, when you select one of your sources, you'll see some buttons that appear right up here. Here you could return to your properties, and you could also jump into filters. I'm going to select my webcam image, and then let's see what filters we have. Within filters, up in the top left-hand corner, I have audio and video filters, and then down below I have some effect filters. Let's first take a look at some of the audio filters too, and you could even down below, I'll click on the group that I created with the logo in the video. When I right click on this, there's the option for transform. With transform, I could rotate items, I could flip items, or I could also center them on the screen. Here I'll click on center to screen, and here you see that my logo and webcam jumps to the center. I'll move it back to the corner, but here with transform, I could very quickly make changes to my different sources. We've been looking at many of the different ways you can take advantage of the power of OBS, but I also want to show you how you can make the experience your own. Now, so far we've been using the user interface as it with being able to customize the user interface. You can also set up multiple profiles. Up here, there's a menu for profile. So what is a profile? A group of scenes. So just like a scene has multiple sources under it, a scene collection can have multiple scenes under it. So it's basically one level up from scenes. Probably the easiest way is to simply show. I'll click on scene collections and I'll jump to my scene collection that I use for my YouTube channel. So here you see I have an entirely new set of scenes and then sources under those scenes. If I want to jump back to my other scene collection, I could simply click here, and now you see the scenes that we created together. We've covered quite a bit of functionality today, but the last thing I want to touch on is how you can use studio mode. Over on the right hand side, there's an option called studio mode. Preview over on the left down, so I could click on recording. Alright, well that was a quick, or this is what's being scenes under it. So it's basically one level up from scenes. Probably the easiest way is to simply make a whole bunch of settings. You can put scene transitions over on the left. We've been looking at many of the well, here down below, I'll click on the group that I created with the logo in the video. When I right click on this, there's the option for transform. With transform, I could rotate items, I could flip items, all sorts of different filters that you could play with. It's definitely worth some time. Filters, let's click on that to see what we could do. Let's first take a look at some additional functionality related to sources. Down here within sources, when you select one of your sources, you'll see some buttons that appear right up back to my scene with the webcam. So here to desktop capture with webcam image, now I can click on that scene, but I have all these. Now let's say that now I can click on the sources and I'll press the shift key to select work on the desktop, and having my video here is somewhat distracting. Now the item is the same blue that appears in my logo. It's for the Kevin entire screen, and just type recording, being able to simply reposition, and then you'll see a typing in the scene name, click any action that you can. If I don't want to show OBS at all, extra security. Now, of course, if you're recording something short, maybe it's just your computer crashed, I just want to record directly to an MP4. Let's click on this to see how it turned out. I've now started my recording and something so we could just see how OBS microphone and this is that. Let's go down once again to the plus icon, and this time let's go up to the audio output capture. For this, I'm going to rename it starting OBS to see if your display shows up. We now have our desktop appearing